Hello, Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here. In the segment that I was planning on doing, a 3-minute diatribe on thrift stores that shrink wrap their used board games, will have to wait because I received a question. Seriously, local thrift store, if I'm gonna shell out $2.99 for Break the Safe, let me at least make sure that it has all its pieces first. This question comes from Johan S., who writes in response to my recent series on collectible, living, and expandable card games. He asks, many card games like Dominion or Dixit have expansions, but aren't called a living or expandable card game. And I can't figure out why. Do you know why this is? Perhaps it could be a topic for Head in the Clouds. Well, Johan, the answer to your question is yes! It certainly would be a good topic for Head in the Clouds. Oh, yeah. Maybe your other question is actually the more important one here. Okay, I think that much of it depends on how a game is marketed. While a board or card game may technically straddle several genres, its marketing typically focuses on just one. Dixit, for example, is primarily marketed as a party game, and while several additional card sets have been released for it, those new cards don't introduce new mechanisms or rules. Instead, they just add more interesting pictures to the game in order to increase its replayability. Dixit's cards don't modify gameplay. Instead, the game's focus is on the interaction between the players that the cards enable. And while Dominion shares a lot more in common with living and expandable card games than Dixit does, there's several important differences that delineate its distinction as a deck-building game. First off, it's considered by many to be the very first deck-building game. So, even if it does straddle multiple game genres, it's first and foremost considered to be a deck builder since it introduced the concept. And even though, like an expandable card game, Dominion has had multiple expansions, those expansions have been staggered out over the course of 6 years. By comparison, expansions for living and expandable card games typically include fewer cards and are released more frequently, such as quarterly or even monthly. So, Johan, hopefully this answer provides some insight into why certain games are called what and why. It seems to be an unscientific concoction of marketing, mechanics, and semantics. And do you have a question about a topic that I've covered? Send it my way. If I can't trick someone else into answering it for me, then it may just end up as a topic on a future episode of Head in the Clouds.